Gibbs' past is explored in NCIS Origins, going back to before NIS was established. Gibbs is displaying his most vulnerable side in the prequel, which is the focus of the series, as a man who doesn't often get personal. Additionally, NCIS Origins is hinting at a sinister and tragic conclusion to a story he doesn't typically tell. Despite spending 18 seasons with Gibbs on the main show, viewers still don't know much about him. He is violating Rule 91 by having aged Gibbs narrate the story, just like he did in Alaska. Given that the series teases a story about her, breaking Rule 91 appears to be very important because Gibbs doesn't mince words when describing the plot. After all these years, Gibbs has a reason for opening the box of his past once more. History has long buried the past. Gibbs doesn't seem to want to let go of whatever happened, even though it's already decided. Rather, he is adamant about uncovering the past. Leroy Gibbs adheres to a set of guidelines. His first wife and his military service are the origins of the set of rules. Gibbs established his own guidelines to help him deal with potentially difficult circumstances in both his personal and professional lives. Since he was not coerced into making these rules, it is crucial that he abide by his own code of conduct. If he doesn't intend to follow through, there's just no use in making them. Although Gibbs is somewhat of a rule breaker and was taught early on that rules are meant to be broken, there is one rule that has particular significance that he finds difficult to break. Although it might seem startling, Gibbs' book contains 91 rules. In Season 18, Episode 16, Rule 91, NCIS reveals the final rule on Gibbs' list. This rule describes Bishop's departure from the show and predicts Gibbs' choices in Season 19 when he chooses to remain in Alaska. Every significant occasion in Gibbs' life and some of his most significant choices are based on Rule 91. Although the rule states that choosing to walk away is linked to not looking back, Gibbs is entitled to look back because he is choosing to return to that period of his life. Writing everything down in a journal demonstrates that Gibbs isn't just reflecting on the past. He is determined to share the story that he has been putting off for a long time. This suggests that the plot of NCIS Origins is significant from a personal and professional standpoint. Gibbs lost his first wife and child a few months prior to the start of the series. He lost them while serving in the Marines, it turns out, and the murderer was never apprehended. It is impossible to imagine the grief and guilt that young Gibbs was experiencing, but it also marks a significant turning point in his life. The paths he took that helped mold him into the person he is today are described in NCIS Origins. Naturally, sharing a story he doesn't typically share also entails being honest and vulnerable. Gibbs is able to write down a lot of things that he would not discuss with another person. This includes acknowledging Lala Dominguez and Mike Franks, who inspired him to develop the rules and taught him important lessons. The fact that Gibbs will experience yet another crucial moment in the series is almost tragic, and it could have a negative impact on Lala's destiny. Gibbs would have to make the difficult choice to let go of something and to keep from looking back, which speaks to guilt, unresolved emotions, and difficult choices that Gibbs would probably not be proud of. Gibbs also leaves a part of himself in the past by refusing to look back. If this is true, then violating Rule 91 might be Gibbs' means of regaining that lost aspect of himself and reconciling with his regrets and inner demons.